You know Mark Scheifele today. Does that rule him out for tomorrow?
It does. Um, we're going to reevaluate him on Monday. So he's making progress with this thing. Clearly, it's gone on a little longer than we'd originally thought, so that's fine. That's all part of it. So we'll see where he is on Monday.
He'll be traveling though with you guys.
The team.
Is obviously you don't want to rush anyone back, and so you'll obviously err on the side of being as cautious as.
Yeah.
What's the latest on David Gustafson? Because he's been in a regular sweater now for a few skates.
Yeah, he's still on IR, so we haven't cleared him to play yet.
2 days off. What was your take on? I guess how it looked like there was a pretty physical practice today. A lot of bumping. That was by design.
We had to get the hard work back in, but actually, after I left you guys the other night, I had a few guys come up to me and they wanted to skate yesterday. So yesterday we had Wednesday off. Yesterday we had half the team out, and all they wanted was a light practice, a light skills day. So half the team did skate yesterday, but the guys that needed the 2 days off took advantage of that. But today was a work day. Get back at it and push the pedal down and make it physical and put them in game situations. So it's going to be a tough game, tough road trip. It'll start tomorrow afternoon in Ottawa, so we wanted to make it a tougher practice.
Sorry, just one more on Mark. Has he skated at all, or is he staying off the ice right
Staying
now?
off the ice.
Has he been able to work out, Rick?
No, just getting treatments at this point.
The hallmark of a Rick Bowness coach team is typically hardworking, strong defensively, all the things that we're seeing from your team right now. I'm wondering, from someone who's like the mastermind of those kind of efforts from teams that you've had over a long career in the league, what it is about this team that is they're able to execute your plan in a way that they're on, a growing historic run of not allowing goals.
It started in training camp. It really did. The guys came to camp in the right frame of mind. We made some adjustments to the way we played last year, minor adjustments. They weren't certainly major adjustments. But I would say the biggest difference is that it's been a complete buy-in from the players from day one. Last year was a lot of teaching. All right, there was. We were throwing new things at them. And as I mentioned this numerous times last year, when the heat of the action came in, they were going back to their old ways that they had played for 4 or 5 years, which was natural. So this year you're seeing we don't go back to those habits. We know what to fall back into our tendencies, the way we want to play now. Are there breakdowns? Yeah. There are mistakes? Absolutely. But they're not mistakes based on what they were doing 2 years ago. They're just based on mistakes on us. So they know how we want to play, and they don't resort to what they were playing with for a couple of years. So that would be the biggest difference, is more consistency on what we've done from training camp on.
That's the difference between this team from this year to last year. I'm wondering what you're seeing from this team compared to other rosters you've had over the years, that they're able to execute what they're doing.
It's the same thing. You put plans in place in training camp, and like, even in Dallas, like when I took over in Dallas, the team was playing well. It wasn't that they was playing bad. We didn't have to make a lot of changes then. We made changes in training camp the next year to the way we were playing, and it took a while to get those implemented. But that was also the year with COVID. We ended up going to the finals. Tampa took a couple of years there to put things in place as well. Like, it doesn't happen overnight. But the more you keep the group together and the more you keep harping on the same details of the game, the more times you see them falling into those tendencies.
Sorry, finally from me, just saying that you got complete buy-in, I mean, that's not easy to do, and that's your job as a coach. So I wonder what you need from a team. Like, is it veterans dragging other people along? What do you need to do to get complete buy-in the way you have?
It's just the job of the coach. It's the job of the team. It's their room. And like I tell these guys, they signed the contract to be pro hockey players. They're responsible for their work ethic. They're responsible for their preparation, and they're responsible for their consistency. So, and we're getting all of that from the players. So that's when I say buy-in. But that has to come from the room as well. It just can't come from the coach. The good teams are driven by the room, and I've said that before. Elite teams are driven by the room. This is an outstanding room. We're getting great leadership from the leadership group, and It just, again, so that shows you there's a complete buy-in, but it just can't come from the coach. It has to come from within the room, and we are getting that from the room.
Is this room, kind of dovetailing off of that, the chemistry in this room, the tightness, the close-knit, whatever you want to call it, is this the type of team that can assimilate a player or two at the trade deadline and make it work instead of, some years guys come in and it just doesn't work. Maybe they don't fit in or whatever. Is this a team that can bring a guy in or two and not disrupt that chemistry?
I would say the team is capable of that. That would depend on the player coming in. He has to be buying. It's not the room. I'm not worried about the room accepting anybody. That's not an issue. The issue would be the type of character we're bringing into the room, because some guys just don't fit in, right? They just don't, no matter what you're doing. So I'm not worried about this team accepting anybody. Anyone can come in here and fit right in. These guys are great with everyone, and all the new players say that. This is unreal, how well they're treated and how well they blend in so quickly. So bringing somebody else in, most of that would depend on that player coming in and buying in to see what's going on here.
How much are you involved in that then, in that process? Because you would have the best finger on the pulse as to what would be a good fit in this room and what type of player and that sort of thing, given your vast knowledge too of the league.
Get to that point, Chevy will have those discussions with me. I don't need to be in on daily discussions. When something comes up that's close, then we'll talk about it.
It's safe to say a matchup with Ottawa is a little extra special, just given the connection you have, and obviously with Ryan. Feel like you watch that team maybe a little more than others?
Yeah, I do. I've watched Ottawa more this year, the last couple of years since he's been there. So we'll have a nice family-friendly dinner tonight, and tomorrow we'll see him after the game.
And just one on goaltending, but would you want to get LB in a game before the break here? Yes. Can you tell us yet which one, or we'll see?
We'll see.
Right. Thanks.